I just watched The Loud House. You know, I had known of the show for a little while now, and I'd heard people talk about it, and I'd seen a few clips here and there, but I'd never actually sat down to watch a full episode until tonight, and just pausing, I'm going to be talking about what I think of this show, and not so much the creator, because Chris Savino, many of you know, was recently fired. I know one of the women who came forward, and I believe her 100%, so glad nobody's going to be taken advantage of by him anymore. Thank God he's gone, and I'm so glad that the 11 women who testified in court are getting their justice. That's all I'm going to say on that subject. Going to the actual show. It's a fun show. I really like the concept. There's so much opportunity for intimacy and bonding and so many different character combinations because it's a huge ensemble cast. So there's a lot of comedic possibility, and there's so many. The Lincoln and his sisters all have distinct personalities, but it does take me a little longer to get all their names straight, especially because they all begin with L. Guess that's a sign I'm getting older, because I would have had no problems with that as a kid, because I'd have watched it that much more. But they're all so fun. They have a unique color. Despite the fact that there are 11 siblings, and there's, of course, a bunch of side characters, it doesn't feel too crowded, especially for the 11-minute format. It feels very, very well paced. I think that's because the story's relatively simple. They keep it simple, they keep it straightforward, and they have a very unique tone, a unique point of view. But it's also very familiar to a lot of people, even if you didn't grow up in a large family. I didn't. But you still get it. Like, there's one of the few episodes I watched tonight was Lincoln leaves a mean voice message for his sister after she breaks his toy, and then when she actually apologizes for what she's done and praises him for being mature about the situation, he's on a mission to delete the voice message from her phone. Great setup. I also really like how the heart of the show is this family. And yeah, they will mess up. Yeah, they'll get on each other's nerves. And in real life, I'm sure things are way more chaotic than they are on the show. Someone who has a big family, please let me know if I'm right or wrong on that. But this feels, there is such a good heart to it, and they have, supposedly in the writer's room, a pitch usually starts with, "This happened to me as a kid." They also have a really good modern message. It's very much in modern times, so there are smartphones used, but there's still a timeless feel to it. The look of the show is very much like an old comic book, but it doesn't feel so caught up in nostalgia that it fails to get with the times. It's modern in a very good way. I like the way they dance. I like the way the first episode is the power goes out. Lincoln's just trying to get to the TV first so he can watch his show. And then when he tries to plug in the backup TV for the sister he forgot about, Lucy, then the power goes out and they're all afraid to go into the basement except him, but because he's brave, they go into the basement together to get the power back up, which is great. I had to do that. I had to, when we had power outages, I had to be the one to go to the fuse box. Sibling moment. There was one episode I really didn't think had a good message. A lot of these of course have a point, have a message, but they're still simple stories first. But the idea of Lincoln's being bullied and she abuses him because she has a crush on him. It's really not something like Hey Arnold where you see the psychology of that person. You don't even see, I know that's going to be Ronnie Ann. You don't even see her in the episode. But I personally really don't like that message. I don't like the idea of accepting abuse because it's love. I know kids are probably not going to be taking it that seriously, and kids are smarter than we give it credit for, but I still don't like that. Oh, they're mean to you because they like you. Terrible message. Good news is I saw that a lot of kids are criticizing that too, and kids refuse to accept it. versus something like Hey Arnold, where you see where that mindset comes from. You see Helga's issues and why she reacts the way she does. Here it's just, oh, she bullies you, she likes you. Though it was really, really sweet of the sisters about to stand up for him, but then they're preparing him for a date. It's just the fact that these sisters are willing to stick up for Lincoln and they're willing to stick up for each other is unbelievably sweet. I know the show has some controversial characters later on, does have controversial points. I haven't gotten to that yet. I'll probably talk about it if I get there. But I do really, there is a simplicity. I repeat myself a lot, I don't care. Anyways, there's a lot to talk about. Some of the stuff, there is not just the, they bully you because they love you. I don't particularly care for how his best friend Clyde is obsessed with one of the older sisters. I've seen it a million times. It's kind of creepy. So unless they do something with it, they could be going a totally different direction with it. He could get over it. But just him creeping on her, that's just weird. Crushes are funny. Creepy is creepy. Yeah. But overall, good show. One I can definitely watch while I'm having dinner and relax. And one it's one I don't have to think about but can enjoy. It's a feel-good show with very timeless jokes, but in a way that's different and it feels very fresh. So I'm glad I watched it. And it just makes me want to be, which almost makes me want to be closer with my sister at times. So, call your family. I'll end on that.